The urban garden was about taking a vacant, forgotten lot on a grassroots level and turning it into a productive piece of land for food, as all culture is from agriculture, as Wendell Berry says. And the rest just kind of followed itself out like concentric rings.
Met Peter about 6 years ago when my brother and I were first planning to do the urban garden right behind Witherspoon Bread.
They came to me about 6 years ago and asked me if I would grow some tomatoes and basil for them.
His name came up. It was a very, very short list. He was the only one on it.
And I said, sure, and so I just kept going. I kept throwing new ideas at them and expanding the garden, expanding the ideas, trying to use nothing but recycled material, which we used, and doing some of the, some of the art in the garden.
We just wanted a basic tomato, some herbs, and a little seasonal kitchen garden there. But he saw something much more. And when I saw that, it gave us the opportunity to let him do it, let him express whatever it was he saw, and it turned out to be a beautiful thing.
I've gotten to know him only in the past couple of years and don't really have any history prior to that, but it's obvious that he is full of creative, original, exciting ideas, and there really does have to be an environment to allow ideas that are unique and different to have any kind of reality.
They approached us and said, can we turn this into a garden? And on a basis of, we do a lot of what I would say community style events in order to help our retailers to bring people into the square. And we saw the garden really as an extension of that.
The sculptures of Robert Cannon pretty much gave the urban garden a sophisticated completion. They made the urban garden a sculpture garden.
Well, there was this hole there that Peter had taken over and produced amazing gardens for, and it was a natural fit for what I was working on at the time. I cut my teeth in folk art. That was what really gave me the license to do sculpture at all. Just seeing people, seeing what had been done, produced without regard for the marketplace, without regard for the critics, just a direct connection between the artist's mind and his community. And so that's where I started. And I did years of that. At some point there was just this magic, I don't know, this leap where the natural element became involved. And I liked what I saw and just went with it from there. My work is incorporating man-made and natural materials, sort of dancing with the two. And I like to add more and more layers of natural materials. So water is obviously, the water element is natural step forward. Before it was just soil and rocks and plants with irrigation systems, and then the water has become its own element, and now I'm working with light and air too. Peter just did a bang-up job with the garden, made it very inviting. It was a garden. It was accessible to the public. The general audience was invited at all times, so that's what I'm interested in addressing in my sculpture as well. So it just fit naturally. The pieces sort of come out of my head where they're like occupying a lot of space, and then they occupy a lot of space in the studio, and then they have to go out into the world. And that's the natural progression of things. And this was a perfect spot for it. A community like Princeton needs a space like the Herban Garden. It needs a free space that can change over time and reflect what's going on here now.